Everybody once in a while goes down a rabbit hole, and today we're going to go down a rabbit hole together. But I've done some of the best learning I've ever done going down a rabbit hole. So let's go. Hey, Lori. I'm Dan, by the way. Lori, how you doing today?
Fantastic. I can't wait to see what's in this rabbit hole.
Well, welcome everybody to today's daily AI experiment. Thanks, Lori, for showing up. As always, I'm kind of excited. I'm a little, you go down a rabbit hole for a while and your brain just you begin to, it's like you go down one rabbit hole, or it's the beginning of the rabbit hole, and your brain's kind of there, and then your attention goes down another rabbit hole. Now your attention has been split in two, and then you keep going, and so eventually, you just have little traces of brain power in 100 different places. So that's where I'm at today, and you can see I don't even have the format of our screens right because my brain is really just not quite here. But once I think I start talking about it, I think it's all going to coalesce back into a singular brain activity. How does that sound?
I'm excited to see it, but I know how you feel. I feel like that's a common feeling among those of us who are experimenting with all these tools, because we uncover things that send us off in different directions as we go. Part of exploration.
And that's what happened today. I was sitting here, and like usual, it's like, okay, what am I going to do for today's experiment? And I thought, well, I've got a list. Let's bring up the list. I've got this list here, and I actually went through it and cleaned it up. And in a minute, I'm going to explain why it's not such a great list, or we could do better. But it's got 329 individual AI tools and their URLs. If I want to rewrite it, which I don't know if I'm going to do based on what you're going to all learn in a minute here, whether I'm going to go in and get the descriptions, scrape the descriptions out of there as well. It was a great experience. I love the idea of scraping, and that's kind of where the rabbit hole began to go down. But so I was sitting here, I was looking at tools, and I thought, I looked at probably 100 of these today, and I was like, and so much so that I kept going back to, it's like, okay, did I look at that one, because I wasn't going in order. I was going at what sounded interesting. And I went kind of around in a few circles and came back. And anyhow, this list is interesting. And it's we scraped it from the AI report. And it's interesting. And it's available. And I'll publish it out, and we'll put in the link of this one and Fridays, because we talked about it on Friday, and we'll also put it in the show notes for the day that we actually created it. And it's useful, and it's fun, and it's a rabbit hole of rabbit holes. So, but I was starting to think, well, I actually went to one of them, and I don't remember which one, and it had this little thing as seen in. And as seen in Taft. Have you seen this site? There's an AI for that.
I've heard of it.
Okay. So I went here, and I started looking around. And of course, I'm always interested in new stuff. So I started looking at just launched. These are all very interesting. Unfortunately, I don't know how old they are. Oh, so they released a new update, and these are nice because it gives the name and a very brief description, more like a category. And I thought there were some really interesting things here. And then I thought, oh, they got this new best thing here. So the best that are on, there's an AI for that. And so I went to that. How do they determine
what's best?
Probably by votes, because there's a voting mechanism. So, of course, ChatGPT gets the most votes. Then this Edit app, which is a mobile app. And let's look at this one, because I thought it was pretty interesting. So you just go and you click through. But it works on your phone, and you can just add little things like, what does she do here? she highlights her blouse and says blue shirt, and it changes it to a blue shirt, and highlights the background, cute dog, and it adds a dog. Now, I haven't tried it, and I don't know if it's that good, but I think someone should try it. Edit App, it's called, and it's on the Apple Store. So, all right.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. So that was highly rated. Now, I know how I know how these things can be gamed a little bit. So I'm not really sure if it's number 2 or someone just went crazy on it. It might be great. But number 3, look what's number 3. Notebook LM, of course. Gemini, Perplexity, Claude, Prismix. Have you used this one?
Never heard of Prismix, so I'm curious about some of these that are up on this list that aren't part of like the daily popular go-to.
Yeah. So Prismix is basically a social media management and content creation. So if you wanted to push all your stuff out to all the social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, probably Instagram and the such. So that's kind of interesting. I peeked at it quickly. If you're interested, it is not a free. It's not a free app. What else we got here? Suno. I didn't see this one.
I love Suno.
Create at the speed of your idea. A bedroom producer. What does that even mean? Make a song. Is it
I got
music?
songs for you from Suno. Oh, yeah. Because what I'll do is I'll write some funny lyrics with ChatGPT or Claude, and then I take those lyrics and I put them into Suno and explain, like, maybe I want women's acoustic or a little country jam or whatever it is, a little rap. And it's so fun. Someday I'll play my Cheerios song in the back of a pickup truck with a great sunset drinking high noons.
Fantastic. That sounds very country, by the way. Are you a country fan?
As of the last 5-6 years, yes. Maybe because it's drifted more poppy.
Sure. Yeah, I've been in and out of country. I used to live in the western suburbs out in Rogers, so it's you go to an event and people are cranking the country, so very good. So I don't know what these are. Relay automation tool. So I'd be really interested. I think I've heard of Leonardo, but this one might be interesting. Sora, use ChatGPT, Copilot on Chrome. 11 Labs, I've used that quite a bit. That does voice creation, very realistic voice creation. Copilot, Gamma. Anyhow, so these are all very runway. These are all very interesting. Artificial users with the capability to interact. I'm interested. I love Edgar Allan Poe. Anyhow, so Everless writing and coding. So another coding tool. That's pretty cool. Anyhow, so those can all be looked at. But then I saw this one, and this one really interested me. Trending. So these are the ones that maybe in the last few days have really gotten some momentum. And very interesting. The Oasis, Albert Einstein. You can talk to Albert Einstein. Corbett is code review, match photos. So anyhow, I was going through this, and I saw FetchFox and web scraping. And
that's right up your alley.
I love web. I don't know what's my fascination with it. And maybe it's because there's so much information. And if you could organize it in a helpful way, I thought that'd be cool. So let's go ahead and we're going to peek at the tool here. Now, I already went through here and I signed up for the free account. And it's really a simple web scraping tool. And what I did first is I used the IMDb upcoming releases calendar.
Yeah.
And what that did, I'm going to show you here my dashboard. So it actually, when you create a scraper, it saves it. And then you can actually run it. And this one's already been run. I got 156. I can download the CSV. And it was so easy. All I did you see my All I did, it didn't
Was
really show it.
copy and paste the link in, and
I
then
did the link, and I said a list of movies and their release dates.
Mhm.
That's all you need to do. So can you think of a cool thing to scrape maybe?
Oh, you're putting me on the hot spot.
I am. You know what? I'm gonna bail you out here. See what happens.
The only thing I could think about is if there was any website that had a list of new restaurants in the Twin Cities that kept track of all that.
How about I know there's Twin Cities Magazine. Twin Cities Magazine. I think it's still around. Right? Best restaurants. So Minneapolis, St. Paul. 2024 Readers Poll. What do you think?
I'm curious what we get from it or what it finds.
Okay. So I don't know if we can do a new one, but that's June 18th. So let's see what we've. So we've got a nice long list, and they're kind of broken up into different categories, and that's okay. I'm not going to look too much at them because I don't want to slant my results. So let's just say, let's go here, and we're going to take this URL, and we're going to create a new one. So I'm just going to go back out here. So we're going to say this. We're going to say get. Oh, I need a space, otherwise it's going to be weird. Get restaurant and category. And I just totally messed up restaurant. Here, actually, let's. I saw this is how they did it before.
Okay.
That they kind of like did it like this. So let's see what happens.
So what I'm thinking about is you're doing this and it's processing. So let's say I'm Stephanie March with the Twin Minneapolis St. Paul Magazine. How am I going to feel about us putting us in there? Is this going to make her happy that people want to get more information? Or I don't know. I'm just putting my head into her mind.
Right. And I think,
thinking as we're doing this.
Yeah. Now, what do they say? All publicity is good publicity. So, I don't know. I think that's how business people think typically. So I'm going to run this.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit run. What category does the resident belong to? Was the URL of the resident? So it decided for me what it's going to do. What I would like to do is actually add. Oh, what is the name of the restaurant? Okay, so that's great. So it does have it. And let's run. So hopefully this will go quickly. So it's got it here, and it's starting to extract data. And now it's interesting because if you remember, well, we don't have to remember. We can actually look at it. Oh, so it's got a list. Oh, look at this. Top 5. Oh, look at this. Best tea. It's doing it. So let's look at this again. So remember how this was broken down? Yeah. It's actually, it's using AI to say, oh, it's part of this category. Porzana is part of best new, and hopefully it's right.
Oh, I do love Porzana, by the way.
Oh, I've never been. So you can feel free to take me there if you're such a fan. So, here we go. Porzana is also. Oh, that's interesting. Whether it's under multiples, did it finish? It finished. Let's go ahead and look at our CSV. Here it is. Let's open it. So we have Porzana, best new. Is that what it was under? Best new and under top 5?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Let's look. Top 5, Porzana. Best new, Porzana. All right. Now, come on. Was that easy or what? I mean, isn't that how you want this stuff to work?
Yeah, it's pretty organized and easy because then you could filter, in a much more organized fashion. You could keep track of where you've been or where you haven't been. You could add your own comments about each one into the spreadsheet. I don't know.
So I just went to Mancini's for the first time,
Oh,
like 3 months ago or something. I've been to a lot of these, but probably not the new ones.
Wait, Mancini's in St. Paul?
Yeah.
I was just there a few weeks ago. Hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that such a throwback, ain't it?
Oh, we died laughing.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah, I love all these. I love all the ones that I recognize. Makes me hungry. Anyhow, so I think it's super cool that there's tools out there that can automate the scraping part. They actually have an API that you can plug in to your little program. If you created a little program, and you could run it on a what we call a cron tab, or a recurring event. You could check every day if there's something new on the list. You could search for certain types of things. There's some pretty cool stuff you can do with the ChatGPT. With that API, where you can actually you can have it look for, does it fit into this category or this category? So you can actually create categories that the results have to fall into if you wanted to go that far. There's just a lot of capability here that you can do it the easy way, or you can kind of take it to the next level. So that's really cool. So
scraping is interesting. And, I think about it. My brother has a men's clothing store, right? And I'm sitting there. Imagine if you could scrape all of their products from their website. And in my head, I'm like, that may not be something that business would want, right? Especially if it's a carefully curated collection. So I'm just trying to, however, if you're a consumer and you can easily, I don't know. This. When I see this stuff, it gets my wheels turning more about the use cases, whether it's from a business perspective or a customer perspective.
Right. And, and obviously that's what you're trying to balance. I think the internet's been around long enough that people know that if I put it online, it's kind of fair game. Right. So, I mean, that's kind of how I approach it, but maybe because I'm the scraper, not the scrapee, I guess.
So can it scrape images too, or is it only text?
No, that's a great question. Let's go and see if we can find something with images. Unfortunately, these don't have regular images. But I do like the fact that it actually went in and got the URLs for each of these,
which is nice. Yeah.
So kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that, but I don't know. It's kind of a fun little experiment. I imagine we can do. I mean, I could simply just say, let's just grab. You could say, grab the images on this page. So I think I get 50 scrapes for free. That's kind of nice.
50. Yeah, that's great.
So per month. And I think the pricing's really affordable. Let's take a look. So you can do $1 for 1,000 scrapes.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I love tools that think of it as a utility, and because then I pay for what I use. I don't want to pay, because I have so many. I told you I cleaned up all my subscriptions the other day, but I'll forget about them and not use them.
I know, that's what I'm trying to. That's on my to-do list, is to organize all my subscriptions, and I think there are apps for that too.
Well, I guess I stopped this in the middle because it's still trying. Anyhow, so yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to get at least we'll get the URL for the image. That's what it says. So scrape the images on each page. What is the alt text for the URL? What is the URL for the image? Very nice. So
Yeah.
I'm going to save my free scrape and not
I
do it
understand.
because
I totally get it. You got to make the scrape count.
This is so smart to me. I barely can wrap my head around how smart that is. So I'm easily impressed, I guess.
I love it.
Well, thanks,
I love
Lori.
it.
So any hints on what you got going tomorrow, or have you even figured it out yet?
You know, in my head, I put our YouTube video into Opus Clips to see what it came up with for the shorts from that video. And I thought maybe we could look at what that's like though at some point tomorrow and see how that worked and if it's worth it. And then it also, what's cool about Opus Clip is it gives you a virality score. So I haven't looked at the results yet, but I did put it in to generate it.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. What do you think? Is that something you want to see tomorrow?
I mean, I'm always interested in what can be done. We have obviously got, I think this is number 14 today. So we got 14 videos. It'd be nice if we could find a way to create some buzz. Anyhow, so that's really interesting. And speaking of that, I need to remind our audience, like, subscribe, comment, please. We need that. Again, it helps YouTube know how to consider how important these videos are. And if they're important to you, then maybe they're important to somebody else, and YouTube will put them in results. So that's what we're looking for, is to really spread the love. And I think we can do that with the help of everybody watching. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dan. I love that. I'm excited to try some things.
Yeah. And spend some time in that, what's it called? Here. There's an AI for that.
AI for that. Mm-hmm.
Taft, I guess. So anyhow, I'm going to be, it's a rabbit hole that I'm going to end up going down. I know there's a lot that I haven't seen yet, but I'm always interested in what's out there. And it's nice when you find something that really leverages the AI well. And I think this FetchFox was a great example of that. It was so easy to use. That's what I want. That's what AI is for, right? To make my life easier, or just leave me alone. That's kind of how I feel about it.
I totally agree. And if anybody has questions or things that they're curious about, I think it would be really great to be able to address some of their situations. So, like Dan said, leave us a comment.
Wonderful. And we're on for, speaking of that, we're on for Friday, I assume, and we'll do a live event on Friday. I assume we're on the schedule for that. And yeah. And so that's an opportunity for people to jump into the chat right here on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube. And we're going to have a live event, and you can comment, and we'll see it and respond live. So that's pretty cool. Woo. All right, everybody, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.